Hi guys, and welcome to your Twin Flame Tarot Love Messages. This is going to be a general reading, therefore it is going to be, these are going to be general messages. If you are after personal tarot reading with myself, please feel free to reach out and inquire. I will list my email address just below the video here in the show more section. I'm going to give the cards a shuffle, and today we're going to focus on, will your twin flame be back? Okay, so we all know that, there's a commonality in all twin flame connections. It's that runner chaser stage. So for those of you that are experiencing that stage, that phase of the connection, we want to know if your twin flame will be back here. And if so, let's see if we can get a time frame here. Okay, you've got 9 and 10 of Pentacles here. And the Page of Pentacles, but it's up in reverse. Okay, so will your twin flame come back here? And if so, when? Okay, from what I can see, your twin flame here is prone to certain behavioral patterns. Okay, notice how, you've got a lot of pentacle energy here, and you notice the star etched, the pattern of the star etched onto the pentacle. There are certain behavioral patterns or holding patterns, okay? Your twin flame has ran once before. They'll run once again, but they will come back, okay? Because these, essentially, there's a pattern, and the two of you you slip into these patterns where, your twin flame runs and you chase, or, if vice versa. But I'm seeing that there are behavioral patterns that, to be honest with you, or paradigms that don't look that they're about to shift or break anytime soon. So to answer your question in short, will they be back? Yes, they will, because essentially this is, I'm bumping the camera. This is a pattern that your twin flame here is carrying out here, okay? Things will go back to normal, and I say that using air quotes because, again, this is just that phase of, it's a normalcy for a twin flame connection, that runner chasing stage here. So if your DM here is, when things get too much for your twin flame, your DM, or your DF here, if things get too intense and too much, this is where they run, okay? This is a behavioral pattern because they can't process the intensity of the emotions, or they can't process the emotional confrontation, or that they're just too overwhelmed and bewildered, and instead of trying to work through it and resolve it, they run, because it's what they do. It's a behavioral pattern, okay? It's a pattern that they're not going to break anytime soon, not just yet here. But then I feel like from time to time, when they actually want to feel that intensity again, that, the intensity of the emotions and that feeling and that buzz when they're with you, then they come back, okay? And this is when they come back around for some more. So will they be back? Yes, they will. But I feel like, there's a lot more depth to this. I feel like things run, the rabbit hole goes deeper here. Essentially, I feel like your twin flame here runs because they try to protect themselves. They either try to protect themselves from getting too deep and too close to you, or they try to protect you from them here, okay? So this is why they run here. They also run because there's a lot of fears, anxieties, and insecurities here with the Death card here. Because for those of you that are aware of twin flame connections here, this phase that you're currently in, for some of you, like this phase or this stage that you're currently in, what happens, it's something that's being referred to as the dark night of the soul, okay? And it's sort of this stage often triggers, like this running, chasing stage often triggers that stage, that phase here. And that phase can be extremely scary, can be extremely painful, and can be extremely, uncertain here. And you're not sure what's going to happen with your twin flame union, or whether or not they'll be back, or whether or not anything will happen here. You feel like you're losing control. You feel like things are, you don't understand what's happening. And you don't understand, what will happen in the future here. So it's a very unpredictable kind of energy, very unpredictable kind of phase, but they will be back. But I feel like, again, I feel like there's patterns that, you know, your twin flame here is carrying out, and these patterns essentially, there's a fear or anxiety. There's a fear and anxiety of, you know, loving and being loved in return, of having a healthy relationship and being a part of it. There are certain fears of emotional commitment and emotional intimacy, and whenever they get close to that, they tend to run here. Okay, so keep an eye out. For some of you, keep an eye out for the 9th and the 10th. It could be the 9th and the 10th of this month. It could be 9 to 10 days from this reading, because this is likely when you will hear from your twin flame connection, or they will come back into your life. So the 9th and the 10th, it could be 9 to 10 days from this reading. It could be 9 to 10 hours from this reading here. They could send a message 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So this could be a reference to time as well. So keep an eye out, like just jot down those dates for some of you, because I feel like this is where your twin flame comes back. But they come back with a message. But notice how, you know, the Page of Pentacles is up in reverse, and notice how, you know, he's carrying the pentacle, and it's got that same pattern, that star. So essentially your twin flame will come back, and essentially I feel like this is not the last of it, and the two of you will be back here again. You will be back at this unpredictable, scary stage, okay? Because it is a part of that twin flame union, but I feel also that at the end of the day, your twin flame here, they have a lot of issues that need to be entangled and resolved here. The Page of Pentacles in reverse, of course, also tells us that your twin flame right now is not focused on commitment, or is not focused on long-term companionship here. I feel like they're easily distracted by either potential new lovers around them, potential new energies, or I feel like they're a really distracted energy here, which suggests that they may want the convenience of a relationship, but without the actual commitment, or they may, want something along those lines, like something along the lines of a commitment, but they don't want to put a title to it. So I can see that you and your twin flame are going to have to work really hard to remain together and to try to work through all of this as well. I also feel like the Page of Pentacles calls your attention, the fact that he's come up in reverse, he calls your attention to not making the same mistakes here that the two of you have made in the past. If you can try and break at least some destructive patterns, some destructive habits, then it'll definitely it'll definitely serve you well, and it'll definitely be favorable here with your connection. But I feel like it's bringing your attention to remind yourself that do not make the same mistakes, or learn from your mistakes. It just calls your attention to the mistakes that you've made in either previous relationships or in the past here with your twin flame here as well. Okay guys, and these are your messages. I just want to thank you all for watching and for listening. Please show your support by subscribing to this channel, liking, sharing or commenting. I will be sharing with you more tarot love messages, so stay tuned. Thanks guys again. Bye for now.